Hi, whoa. Hi, folks. Nick Tuckert here with the Historical Fencing Guild. And we have another lovely week going. God, we got watchers coming in. Sorry, we're still having just a little bit of setup. There we are. Still getting this show on the road. Remember, the Historical Fencing Guild is brought to you by, and let's bring me up because I'm the what? The Historical Fencing Guild is brought to you by The Simple Sword. It is brought to you by The Fighting Axe. Both of these books are available at www.amazon.com/author/Nicholas Talker. Yeah, it's me. I know it's a little cumbersome, still getting used to the system, and honestly, I'm coming off about 6 days with a massive fever. Yes, that does completely overlap and meant I spent Halloween mostly on the couch, save for a slight wandering off into the abyss. But that is okay. Folks, we are flying high, finding wine, having ourselves a Nick and Rich time. The Historical Fencing Guild is also brought to you by my beloved Patreon members, who I could not do this without. The link is in the description. Just look up the patreon.com/the Historical Fencing Guild. That's me. I've been prepping what we're going over this week. How the heck is everyone? It looks like we've got the amazing Bladed Thesis scrolling in. That's awesome. I assume the sound is good because nobody's complaining. Everybody's taken aback by the raw chunk of force that is yours truly. So I hope everyone had a good Halloween. Nobody died. And if you died and you're still on the net, and we're joined by John Miner. Awesome. I got my voice back today. I haven't had it much. I managed to baby it through my loving RPG. Oh, Johnny. We're joined also by Johnny Cage, everyone's favorite vampire when Auntie Noodle isn't here. But John, no, Johnny, you know I love you. And rest assured, in the next couple episodes, something incredible is coming. I don't know. I may do the fan art or something in commentary. So good things are coming. We got John saying hi to everybody. We got Foxy saying hi. And our good friend Johnny once again is back saying, well, death is just the beginning. I've got something special in the works. Right now on the campaign, and I don't know, today I feel like gaming, which is really, really hard on a Friday because Friday is not a game night. Friday, we're talking swords, we're talking slashing, we're talking stuff. But man, I'm ready. I'm ready for something. I've been down so long that I'm just ready to see something by my teeth. But and that is okay. We dig this. We want this. We need this in our life. Now, there was a bit of a discovery that was made. Basically, Halloween Day, I had a compulsion. And they happen once in a while. Usually it's when I'm driving off down the road. It says, Nick, pull over, have a sandwich. You don't want what's coming. And whatever happens, I miss a major accident or something goes wrong, something like that. John, who actually is one of my old school gamers, he's been running the same campaign for a long time. We go way back, but he's good philosophical acceptance of death. But we go. Johnny is referring to his NPC who shows up in the game, and if you're not following Red Valkyrie Presents, you're missing a whole lot of independent comic content and possibly the best, most manic RPG online, certainly in my top 3. So you'll follow those good folks. My commenters there tend to get roped into the game as homage NPCs, and everyone loves it because it's a good time. You know, it's one of those games where the rules are established, then I break them for my own amusement. But what was I compelled to find? Well. Now, I am running behind because I spent literally the last 5 days almost entirely on the couch, save for wandering a quarter mile in a fevered haze and finding alongside the road a railroad spike in very nice condition and a thing. This is my new leather anvil. As an anvil for doing rivets and stuff on leather that needs to be cut relatively flat. I know this is a piece of like railroad technology. It literally must have fallen off a truck, and I absolutely love it. But whoo. Alrighty. Hello, Cindy Cap. Am I glad to see you? And you're not even in lurker mode. This is a beautiful day. But I get to, yes. This piece of iron at some point is going to get very hot and adjusted with this till it's something else. And that makes me happy. You know, I'm working on applying things to a bucket list. And what I apply will be made possible by you, my beautiful viewers. You know, to borrow, I don't know Dominic's last name. He does a, hello, my beautiful watchers. Yeah. Oh, no. Johnny. Cold iron, my friend. This was set by somebody who wanted to make sure that the Fae weren't too much of an annoyance. This has nothing to do with the... And besides, you don't forge silver. You smelt silver. Although I've been known to do both. But I'm just a poor boy. I don't go engaging with issues that require silver. I can't afford silver. Silver and gold. Nope, because Thanksgiving is still coming. So I want to remind folks of the calendar. Now, I understand Christmas lights, they happen. Christmas lights are forgivable. I have mine up most of the year. I actually have to take my old strands apart and try to rewire them. The music has to be delayed. I worked retail. I'm still scarred. But you have the Halloween, pre-Halloween, so Falloween, okay, into Leafy Moss, which overlaps, the celebration of sending each other ebooks to prep for the coming winter, and reading The Night in Lonesome October. Then you have Halloween Night, which is right in the middle of the Halloween arc, which is, varying degree of celebration and work, depending on how dumb people around me are being. And since I was sick as a dog, I took Halloween night as a sick day. I mean, I still did some work, but nothing. Then comes this lovely arc of kind of fall chill awesomeness, where you do fall things. You enjoy the leaves. You enjoy letting your clothes shift to more comfortable. I mean, I am looking for Hawaiian print flannels that would blend both parts of my world rather together, but I may be switching from Hawaiian shirts to flannels as the seasonal change of foliage affects yours truly. But then comes Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving being the celebration of the kickoff of tabletop tactics season, where it's too cold to go outside, so you set up long tables and push little miniatures across, blowing each other to Hades in preparation for Thanksgiving, which, as a fat man, I have to appreciate. My wife is both of Southern and German stock, so the food is a thing, okay? I will have to be careful. We will find a way to navigate it with my new life changes, but we will navigate that. Then comes the rapid shop session, so that I'm not stressed. My family is significantly grown in that my brother got married this week as a surprise, and that's awesome. He's dated my sister-in-law, Vicky, for a long time, and I dig her, and so there's a lot of good there. Hail, Frog G! Thank you for the frog. Hold on, Frog G. Yes. Thank you as always. Tickle the algorithm, smash the like, dingle the bells, and subscribe. Because one thing I can say is, even when things go wrong, folks, you ain't never gonna find another show like me. Now, Cindy Cap. Oh, I just got a tiny little comment dump. It's so cute. So I'm gonna go to. I was about to click on Cindy, so I'm not listening. But we're going to go moderation into all things, including moderation. That's right, folks. I'm exceptionally moderate until I'm not. Now, going back, hopefully this next, we got COVID last year and we did absolutely nothing. I had a turkey pot. Oh, effing chat for them. Anyway, here, you know what? Hold on. Caps lock. I'm typing with this, so give me a second. F in chat for that. But what's up? My boy Luke. Oh, Luke and I are gonna have so much fun as things go on. Because like I do a 4-hour show on Wednesday nights. And that in chat is for Bladed Thesis and all the people who have had a crappy previous Thanksgiving, and I'm hoping this year's better. But no, we meet again. Although the F may also be for Frog G, who's just that awesome. But yes, Frog G, Bladed Thesis, Bladed Thesis. Bladed Thesis, I don't think's made the jump. Although, do I make villains out of my friends? Anyway, yeah. Luke and we have I do a 4-hour broadcast, okay? Then everybody says goodbye, and then Luke and I get chatting, and life is good. Because this is someone who understands that Evanescence's Bring Me to Life is canonically, and I will never be convinced otherwise, an ode to the glory that is coffee. I mean, look at those lyrics, folks. Wake me up inside. Save me from the nothing I've become. If that's not coffee in the morning, I don't know what it is. Let's just put it on there. And if there's any disagreement, I would love to have Amy Lee tell me so, and I will take her word for it. I will concede my point, but life is good, guys. Life is very good. I was listening to very violent, inappropriate music, just kind of building my energies up. I've been mainlining Drawfee to get through being sick and sketching things and then running games. Life is good. Hey, I appreciate it. I appreciate that I have friends. See, I have the best people in the world on any of my shows because I have people who are across the political, religious orientation spectrum, and they all agree to not, on the sliding scale, to not be a dick to each other, or to be excellent to each other, and we have fun. And that is one of my things I consider one of my highest, most noble, groovy things. Oh, and Cindy, thank you. I'm a little, guys, like I said, I've been over 100 degrees for the last 5 days. I'm kind of out of it. Cindy Kep says, I once asked something about vinyl. I've done some research. Long stitches, 2.5 millimeter or more, and I'd say cyanoacrylic glue. Yeah, cool. I mean, I get the acrylic, and I'm taking... That's a fun word to pull apart. And I didn't say cyanoacrylic. Most noble visitor from the desk of Small Press Publisher. That's my boy, Joe D. McPhee, the patron king of Amazonian ladies wrestling. That's right, I said it. And I absolutely... This man works so hard on comic review stuff and putting things out. I really respect him. So it's great to have you here. Speaking of violent, anyone on my Facebook knows my love of Ice 9 Kills. Check it. I've just been recently exposed to them, and it is a mood music. So if I'm in the right mood, that is definitely a jam. And Cindy Kep says super glue. Da, 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 da. Yes, super glue. Now, I am all about super glue and vinyl. That sounds right. I've done more organic stuff, and I am planning because that anvil, once I get it cleaned up a bit, because frankly, it's kind of nasty. I need to get more WD-40 and just do some love to it. Is really going to help me do the leather working. I tend to work with more organic fabrics. I wear most Hawaiian shirts are made of a quasi polyester. Like this was one of humanity's great gifts to the world. Nice. Welcome to Horrorwood and the Silver Scream. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm so okay. Hold on. I love the comments because like a good day like this, I don't need a lot of commentary. It says okay. Welcome to Horrorwood and Silver Scream are always on my playlist. I will definitely. I'll admit it. I got into it because I heard it mentioned, and it's going around the cosplay. A lot of cosplayers are mentioning it, and a couple of my favorite cosplayers who I really like their style. And this isn't like, oh, creeper. It's like, wow, you do really neat work. Sarah May Kasai, I think is her name, just did something. So I've been looking into that. Let's see. We've got. I started to learn a Chen style fan form. It will need mutating, as it is cost major pain. Major out. I am deeply sorry that something happened that cost you pain because you're one of the most beautiful, wonderful people on the planet, Cindy. But I am so glad that you're finding another style. Stylistically, off camera, Nick has been doing a lot of very slow, very careful work to see what's working. And I'm set back because I literally, my wife, son, and I all got hit with an absolutely brutal something. I don't know if it was a cold from heck. We didn't lose our scent, so I don't think it was one of the unspeakable diseases, but another one that just lays you out for 5 days. And so I'm kind of dealing with that. But I've been really trying to pull back in and go all the way to my roots, check how my stance is, check how my body's flowing. Good luck on your knee good luck on your knee surgery. Let's see. Yeah, please. I set up the Historical Fencing Guild, the organization originally as a Rosetta Stone, a neutral territory, a white raven, a McNally's pub for different practitioners and styles to meet and interact. So please contact each other offline. If it's something you don't mind sharing, go on the Facebook, the HFG mobile group and put the conversation where people can hear it, because the more work that happens, the better we are. And then there's those aren't fun and recover. I hope it goes well. See, lots of support for you, John. Now, I know occasionally John and I butt heads a little bit, and it's partially because there's a lot of personality in the room. Not necessarily ego, but a whole lot of personality. And when you have a whole lot of personality, occasionally it grates on people with other people's personality. But we're old friends, so we have these conversations. In fact, he is on the list of people probably in 2022. I want to start trying to arrange the odd guest. That would be sorry, I know the noise of every normal vehicle around me, and I heard one I didn't recognize. I may not be the mechanic my family is, but I still have the ear to go, something's up. But no, I would love, purchased a new sword form DVD. May I ask what sword form and who's it by? I would love to be able to look up some more information, because I love nights like this where I'm set in, we've already got conversation, we've got connection building up, because that's what this is meant to be. I'm working on possible prep stuff if that happens. No one is odder than I am. a lot. That's one thing. The a lot of the forms are presented immediately in the advanced form. I've seen in a lot of DVDs and things. And I'm going to make a really odd reference, but the last time I was getting in shape, and it's so funny, but it was back when I was working regularly with the special needs folks. I was working midnight, so it would alternate between long bouts of violence and chaos, and then tremendous amounts of inactivity where you're sitting trying to be quiet or whatever, and that can have effects. And a friend of mine gave me a copy of Shaun T's Hip Hop Abs, which sounds like the parallel opposite of what you would expect from me. But actually, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, and it's something I may even get back into. One thing is you have Shaun T and his usual exercise people doing elaborate exercise things, and then there's this little, I believe she was Asian, woman off to the side who did a modified form. And you don't see that a lot in workouts, where if you're not physically up to this, just watch what she does. It's a easier, simpler version. And I really dug that. So don't ever be afraid to look and go, this motion doesn't work. Wu-Tang's, so keep looking at that. Wu-Tang's by Chang Jai Lee. One, I adore the concept of snowflake sword. Having heard that term misused and tried to become an insult for different people, the idea of the term snowflake sword, I'm all about it. I am here for that. Jake Mace. Jake Mace is amazing. Yes. I see, this is what I'm loving. They're talking about how they're transitional. Now, one thing, and I'm just going to do this and see if it lets me do it. Yes, it does. Awesome. Still getting used to screen management, because most people who do StreamYard do so with at least 2 monitors, and I'm still using my 22-inch all-in-one. So I still have to be very careful with screen management. But transitional motion is so important. When I talk about reading fencing manuals, and that goes to watching DVDs, anything with forms or steps, usually it's, this hard to pronounce term to this hard to pronounce term in whatever language it may be. I am always most interested in the space between frames, because that's where a lot of the wiggle room, the adjustment, the refinement is. And I'm sorry, I've been not neglecting, but I need lots of fluids right now because I'm kind of currently feverish. So I'm holding out, folks, but if I seem a little more off than usual, I want you to understand what's going on. But let me see. I don't think I have. Nope. Okay, cool. But yeah, I love that we have this conversation going now. I see big deal stances being most important, but he fired me from the team in favor of somebody. Stop. Don't. This gets into something that is one of my hang-ups about forms and or katas. And that, okay, I'm going to go here because Cindy Kep is, what was she saying? Sorry, second day. Nope, either the second part of the lunge or not so far. You can always shorten your lunges. In fact, I will always be a big fan, and it's why I talk about when I talk about lunges, that you take combat lunge versus the Olympic lunge. And remember, much of Chinese martial arts, this is a bit of a hot take, but part of being able to preserve the martial arts in China during the communist regime was to and I'm going to move that because what you're saying is still important, but I want to keep my thought. Well, they were going to they actually tried at one point to completely eliminate martial arts. There was a real dark age of martial arts, and it was brought back, but it had to be sort of sanitized. That, it was as a cultural representation, as a demonstration of prowess without practicality. And that was the only way they could keep it for a long time. This is where you see what I consider to be a plague upon the earth. And, I'm a very tolerant guy of a lot of things. There isn't much that really repels me. But wushu steel hurts. Guys, it hurts my soul. To see a beautiful poleaxe. It's like, boy, that's chrome shiny. And as they're moving, the blades are going blah, 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 blah. Or to see this gorgeous Tao. And they go through their flows, and it's like blah, 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 blah. Spear work. And the spear. Now, I understand if the spear has to be soft, springy for safety issues. We're seeing a renaissance of spear fencing. I'm really interested into this. I'm really here for it. But at the same time, I'm really careful because I've seen some ugly things. I've watched rapiers get L-bent. Even with a fully functioning safe rapier, I've incurred tremendous damage. And when you start getting the mechanics, and you know what? I'm not, I'll be honest, I tend to pick 2 or 3 guys I go to that I trust. And that's where I tend to be comfortable, and then I review very, very, very slowly. But they so like Dr. Yang Chuing Ming, which that is not an uncultured or any error I make in his pronunciation is a mechanical error with me working around speech impediment. I have the highest respect for him. I've watched his videos. I've studied him. I've done some background check, and there's truth to there. We have to always guard against bullshito. And that's one of the reasons why I will always say, I take the term sword master, and in some cases weapons master, in the format that I am qualified to take somebody who's never handled something and help them make it go. And maybe help them find a way to continue their studies. I am not a God's gift to martial arts. You know what I mean? If you want God's gift to martial arts, that's why Master Ken exists. Boom, cha! But really beware of bullshito. So I do like that there's this discussion on back checking. And I will say this. Anybody who wants to back check should. And if you don't like what you find or there's any doubt, walk away. There's always another person. That's why I don't claim anything I don't really have. So, we see that. We're going to go here. And, yeah. So, that looks really cool. Now, we'll get into the commentary that almost broke it. That sound effect, cool. Smile. Well, I mean, that's like my generic wushu sword, okay. I pick up a sword. A good sword will literally cut the air. And if you are training with something that's edged safely, or even not edged, and you're in a quiet, windless area, a trained ear will be able to hear if your edge alignment is out. I'm not kidding. A good sword should have a stiff enough spine, especially single edge, where it cuts the air in a very specific way. A jin are this way. Jin are absolutely this way. A real jin should have a very stiff center, almost raised spine. The guard is it's flipped downward usually because it's meant to flow through, not catch. A few other things. And you'll hear this very precise sound. So you pull the sword. This isn't metal on metal. It's not the shing. Feel that. If you're going really fast, you get that. Now, you pull wushu sword. Like, watch the demonstrations and marvel at the martial artist skill and the horror of dealing with a sword that has, like, erectile dysfunction. There, I said it. Wushu swords have erectile dysfunction. They are limp and they are wobbly, and that makes them both less effective and more dangerous to the wielder, in my opinion. I don't like flail weapons. And ironically, that's the same logic that brings out an absolute rant from my soul when I see Olympic saber fencers. These are tremendous athletes. Their style, Olympic fencers are tremendous athletes. The style and precision is unspeakable. I am not bashing them to it, but I do believe that when a fundamental of the style is being able to reach behind your head, flick, and have the sword arc around and hit. Yes. And it's just, and yeah, no, I've seen them. I have foils. But it's more the metagaming of turning a foil's supposed to be kind of whippy. That's the point of a foil. And epee has a stronger spine. It's got a V-shaped cross-section, a distinct bend. It's meant to be more rigid. But a saber is a concussive weapon. Saber is strong sword stuff. Cut, 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 cut. Look at Polish saber. Look at the way the style is fought. But when you see Olympic fencers, who I love saber, but they actually over years have become more whippy because learning the saber as a whip weapon makes it faster. So it's gotten, in my mind, safety equipment where sabers are involved have evolved to make them into a literal different weapon at this point. It is not amalgous. It's not showing what it's about. Antenna sabers. What's this? My first sword was a dragon head katana that my girlfriend brought for birthday at pawn shop. Heavy, rat tail tang, edge looked like it was sharpened with the chainsaw. If it was a all-white, false, all ivory hilt, twisting, like, snake style body to a dragon head, and kind of resembled the Highlander one, but not only am I, I am intimately familiar with those. I have not owned one, but I got stories, we'll say, about the guy who did, but I'm not going to tell them here. Well, and exactly, that is the balance between what we're playing. Now, I have no problem with that. It's like if you go through the bouts we have with the guild, especially when I have people who are learning, the game itself changes. Now, when I'm playing with somebody like Steve Clausen, this tends to be much more short aggressive. I still have the worst habit of the world is that I tend to emulate the style of whoever I'm fighting. The running joke for a long time was left to my own devices, I'm Raphael from Soul Edge, Soul Calibur. But when I'm sparring somebody, uh, it when I'm sparring with somebody, it tends to turn into Alcaden. I tend to mimic their style so that they can see how they're fighting and equate to it. When what I should do, and when I'm in the right mentality, I do, is counter or opposite their style, play to their weaknesses. So if they're a circular fighter, you become linear. If they're passive, you become aggressive, that sort of thing. Nicely done. Yeah. Something happened at that event. And I hold no animosity to the person who stole my brooch all those years ago, but I do hope sincerely that the forces of equality find them and render unto them education until such time that as they seek me out to return it. And Olympic sports become highly stylized, and that's true. They become their own thing, and it's fascinating. And I'm not necessarily saying it's a bad thing because some of my other favorite sports, especially the biathlon, that is amazing. Skiing and shooting, the fencing, basically all the martial style events are my favorites. But I do like the added elements of motion. So archery is one thing. Archery while moving is another. Marksmanship is one thing. Marksmanship while moving and possibly your targets are moving. I'm about that. I want to see more of that. But it does. And that's the balance between reality and safety we have to measure as we pick what what style of what we do. And that's why it's so important. It's not just enough. You can learn to sword fight. And that's one thing why I do recommend my book, because it is not convention specific. Okay? It gives you a lot of bases that can go to nearly any convention. And I tell you, do what I do unless it conflicts with the conventions, which are the rules of the style you're playing in. You know, you could beat somebody. Well, that was a neat sound. If you punch them in the snout, but that doesn't do you a lot of good in a judo match. So you need to, as I mute my lovely system here, I'm gonna have to check. Few of my regulars haven't been showing up, and I'm a little concerned about them. I have a sliding scale of responses, Johnny, and I try to be Christian and, be as forgiving as I would be, and, but I also believe that there needs to be education. And I do hope they figure it out. I hope whoever's taken that figures it out and they have an opportunity to make it right and they choose to. I'm not terribly difficult to find. But if not, that's fair too. Anyhow, let's go down the line. Gotta watch V for Vendetta after stream. It is absolutely. I have a V for Vendetta mask on my wall of cool, the geek wall that I'll get the study revamped if I'm not up to doing more move. I just didn't expect to be down for 5 days straight, sick as a dog. Berserker style. Berserker style works when you can tank the damage received doing it. And I would rather folks use a controlled, educated method rather than a berserker style, because I don't want them to take unnecessary damage. But then again, John, you were built like Hagrid, so you're going to fight like Hagrid. You're going to think like Hagrid. You're a big guy, going to do things. I prefer to remember the 6th of November. I actually have to remember another day in November that will be occurring between these videos where I get to celebrate my 19th anniversary. 19 years married, 21 together. I've spent almost this entire millennium with my wife. That's cool. They started having Halloween pretty. It would, in certain communities it's more active than in others. Obviously, I didn't have to make the decision because part of it is my son is autistic, and he also has logic, and he has a unique logic, and part of his logic is, why don't I just eat candy at home? So he will probably do something with his costume later, but that will be for fun as Master Chief, not running around to people he doesn't like in socially uncomfortable situations. And danged if I can't, say I kind of approve of that. So there was some trunk or treat here too. We have yay and we have congrats. Yeah. My wife's pretty darned awesome, especially since she lets me do these streams and makes it all possible. And she's the breadwinner of the family. If you want to know my income, add about $15 to what I make on Patreon. The $15 comes from, I average about that through my book sales. And if that doesn't sound like a lot, that's because it's not a lot. I do know that a couple of the Russian bootlegs are doing very well, so people are learning to sword fight for my materials. And you know what? You give back to the systems that helped you. I've been a very poor, very broke guy for a long time. I'm working on some new materials, though, both written and useful. But it's all trunk or treat. Oh, the Halloween we have is trunk or treat. I don't care for social stuff. It depends. My birthday this year, which I normally have a big deal Halloween party in August for my birthday. And it was my 40th birthday. I had planned this for several years to be a major event. I'm in my own home now. And I looked at the way the COVID numbers were, and I had to say no. And I had people tell me, well, why not? And it's because my wife and I work in an area that's kind of separate from where my friends are. And she's a librarian. I was a librarian. We couldn't risk becoming vectors. I don't want to catch it, and who knows? With us sick, we may have caught it. I don't think so. But I'm like 2 shots vaccinated. If I'm eligible, I'll get the booster. That's who I am. And I got the flu shot. But that might be why I'm responding to whatever's going so well right now. but I couldn't risk them. So I was excited about Halloween, figuring if we could just be sane and it would be safe, we could do something for Halloween. And we had a major outbreak south of here, and I couldn't. Again, I couldn't socialize. And then we actually got sick with something. So yeah, it is what it is. I'm hoping for a pleasant holiday season. I know some people are seriously into Spook Day. It's almost a non-event for me. Halloween was always a very special holiday for me. When I was little, my dad would drive us around, and we'd just deploy like stormtroopers out the side of a silhouette minivan. It was awesome. And then we moved out too far, and that didn't work out. And things got hinky. But and my son is autistic, and he doesn't like being scared. And it's always been difficult for him. He likes giving out candy, but he doesn't like being scared. So it's sort of, I find workarounds. That's a lot of my life, is finding little workarounds to get a nibble of the pie. I don't even expect my whole piece. That's not what I'm about. Because I hate to tell you this, a lot of parents out there, but your kid's job isn't to be what you want them to be. It's to be who they are, and it's your job to try to help them work the best they can. I lost Jim Beaver, Bobby Singer from Supernatural said it best, and I'm paraphrasing. If I misspeak, it's on me, not on him. Kids are supposed to eat all your food and break your heart. That's part of being a dad, and so that's kind of how it is. Let's see, we got that. Clear up of things. Yeah, things have changed, and the world's just different. But I also like to go for a walk on the woods with a lantern and listen to the music. But then again, I celebrate a lot of things like that. I celebrate a lot by walking liminal places at odd times. Not sure what that says about me. I have this theory I'm haunting my own life sometimes. Aww. Well, Sir John found a bag of silver. That was awesome. Hey kids, good for you, John. That's what the Knights of St. Andrew do to help out. Well, yep. I am glad that you carry a measure of what titles are supposed to mean. Part of the reason I don't claim a lot of titles is because were I to claim them, I'd be obligated to be them. And that's both empowering and limiting. This is part of the reason why I never got ordained, because I know a lot of people who've become ordained. Oh, I should remember that forever. I'm sorry, Johnny. It is a cultural thing, and I think it's a way we developed to teach our kids to practice being scared. I think it's a function of, it's necessary from a very sociological standpoint to it teaches kids how to practice being scared in a safe way. It forces them, when possible, to face some of the lesser fears that we forget as adults that we have to inoculate ourselves to. Fear of the dark, fear of going somewhere. And it's a good way to bring the community together. It's an interesting evolution. Oh, Cindy, you were just so cool. Like, I am so blessed to know such cool. When I was handing out candy on spooky days, when kids said trick or treat, I asked them which one. I know a few silly card tricks, so if they said trick, I did a silly card trick. That's awesome. John says, I claim the title and the old code of knighthood. I still insist that in those I knight. It's interesting because it's neat to see you balancing a very Victorian retake on knighthood and the historical sides. You're one of those people who gets to pick and choose chronologically different aspects, and that's neat. We took our Taiwanese friend trick-or-treating for the first time in her life when she was in college. See, that's cool, too. Now, you have to remember, trick-or-treating comes back from, believe it or not, it's the same thing. I don't want to lose this. From why people go caroling. It was a way of give us goodies or we'll prank you. So trick-or-treat, while very fun with kids, is a bit of a threat. And I think my son understands that and is uncomfortable with it. Because, literal minds. And there's nothing wrong with a literal mind. Many of my favorite people in the universe have incredibly literal minds, myself included. I am very abstract, but I take things incredibly literally. But I really believe if you're trick-or-treating and you're having fun, I'm going to give you candy. If you're in costume and you're genuinely trying. If you come up not in costume, you might not get as much candy, but I'll probably give you candy anyway, because I don't know your situation. If you come up and hold up a bag, maybe you're mute, maybe you're special needs, maybe your throat hurts, still give you candy, because I would rather be the nice guy. So yeah, 20s, I don't care if somebody in their 40s comes up, trick or treat, you're getting candy. And parents, if they'll take it, I give them candy too, or at least I used to. Nobody comes by our house anymore, so now I have candy for the next year. Because I always get a big bag of the stuff that is non-allergy. No milk, no nuts, no nothing spooky like that. And then I get at least one bag of chocolate goods. And I have both, and life is good. Let's see. Well, dig through. I'd love to see them. Oh, let's see. Boop. It was awful fun. That, and I missed they gave her candy. Cool. Alrighty. Oh, wow. So, let's see. Couple things. I want to talk because we're at the beginning of November. This is when people like me start to do their shopping, to spread it out over paychecks. It's not the rabid, oh, God, I got it, because I won't let that happen to me holiday. I just had a homicidal maniac. They dress like everyone else. Wednesday Addams. Oh, okay. It's like if you had a Wednesday Addams, you'd give her candy. Although I can see you dressing up like Wednesday Addams just to mess with people too. That being said, totally lost my line of thought for a second, so I will caffeinate. Alrighty. Now remember, with the holidays, I want to remind you, especially if you're looking at ordering, there is a huge cargo ship block wait. Now, let me go here. I have to I want to talk about a group on Facebook. And I want to talk, this is by way of plug, but not necessarily the way you're thinking. So let me double check this. Scroll. This year, if you order through Amazon, it's going to be dicey. Now, if you order something they make, like books that are printed in Lexington, Kentucky, you're hold on. Yeah, you do it. Anyway, with Lexington, you can get local. But one thing I do every year is I run a group on YouTube, on Facebook, that, since I think I started it last year, but that allows small business people who create books or crafts to plug their stuff for other small business people. It's called the St. Nick's Christmas Mall. St. Nick's Creators Christmas Mall. And I am going to share the screen a little bit. It's on Facebook. So I recommend, and I'm putting this out for all the guildies, if you make something that you can sell, join this public group. I run it. And yeah, it's been a while. I haven't been on since July because it kind of goes dormant mid-year. But I want us to all have the ability to share and really shop small this year. So if you have the chance, consider shopping small. This is a good source for that. All right. That's the St. Nick's Creators Christmas Mall. If you're on Facebook, join up. Don't be a dick, but post your plugs. Cindy's on there. Cindy Kep, for example, makes amazing amiguri. She made my beloved manatee, which is in the living room because sickies are cuddling it right now. Other people, so if you haven't joined that up, yeah, let's set up, but give people time, all right? So look into that. Now, if you're going to PHA, actually, they brought up, and I'm going to background the they actually are putting a very generous order date thing, which means, please order by, I thought it was just out today. Yes, it is. How will that look? Cool. I'm going to come here. I'm going to do this. And I wanted to make sure this is out here so that you can see the absolute holiday deadlines by UPS and USPS. So you really want, they're saying that it will go, guys, add another couple weeks, okay? And that's just for shipping. So get ahead on that, all right? I wanted to put that out there because, I love Purple Heart Armory. I support what they believe in. I did establish an affiliate link, and it should be in the description. Please use that when you surf and when you order things. It's a great way to donate free to me through your regular purchases, and let them know that the guild values them and our opinion matters as customers. Christian Dorse over there is one of the great, just an amazing person in the field. And he's doing build-up right now. So I'm hoping there are a couple things I wouldn't mind putting an order in for through them. D-guard Bowie knives. But, so there's some good stuff coming, and I want to facilitate things working really well. Thesis says, anybody wants a journal for Christmas, send me a message and we can discuss details. Maybe get hold Foxy if you want jewelry. And like I said, if you have a website, post it in the comments. So, I mean, I know we want www.ckoepp.com. And we want www.risingtide.pub. Brian K. Morris, who, even though he's not here, the man is tour de force. I want to support that. So we're going to throw that on the screen. And we're going to throw, you guys get that? That's Cindy Cat. She's an amazing author. She's an amazing creator. She's amazing, just amazing all around. And then Brian K. Morris's stuff. Please consider working and looking up those wonderful people. And that's Cindy kept saying, yay. That's CKOEPP.com. Here on WHFG 95.5. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Smooth swordplay. All swords, all the time, folks. We're coming at you over the airways, informing you to keep your guard up and keep the mojo in the dojo. Now, we've hit the hour. I've highlighted some of my amazing Patreon members. Please, 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 if you value what I am doing, what? How did I do that? That's awesome. Okay, cool. Consider, can I make this work? And yes, I type slowly. My hands are held together by elastic. If I did this right. You want to go right here. As little as $1 a month is going to get you access. I keep trying to come up with new things to give my Patreon members, and their whole universe seems to be, Nick, keep pumping out material, do more for the viewers, because they understand I kind of work a bit like PBS, where I want to put everything out where low cost, easy to access, solid information. And they basically get to dictate huge amounts of what's on the show. So go. I love it. I'm still learning to navigate my way around StreamYard, but it's groovy because it lets me do things like this. Chat. And please consider going to www.patreon.com/ I'm sorry. Well, I've done the Amazon plug so much. Let me try that again. HTTPS www.patreon.com/The Historical Fencing Guild for all your sword fighting needs. Anyhow, voice is still a little out of it. John says his is held together by peanut butter. I like peanut butter. Peanut butter is good. Don't lick your fingers if they're what's holding your hand together. And Swakhammer medals will be down until next year due to surgery and recovery, which is tragic. John, please use this time to set up your webpage. Build a storefront so that I can plug it properly. Okay? You've got too much. There's both. Here's the thing. There is a gap. You can get low-level crud for what we do and our interests imported from China or Pakistan for relatively little. Sometimes far excess, as we could see through Bud K. But we could also go to Etsy and find beautiful sword work in the 3 to 4 to 5 digit figures. But there's very little entry level, budget-ish stuff. The venue is just not serviced. And you have the technology, you have the capacity, and you have the raw knowledge to do it. So I'd love to see you serve that community, because I believe you could. Now, I have a question for the viewers tonight, and I'd love some feedback. I'm considering one of two new formats for the next section. I could either go full on Ask Me Anything, which I hope you guys feel comfortable to do. I want to be a relatively open book for you guys. I mean, I don't want to lose all my mystique, but I am more than happy to, I'll answer. You meant I'll like the answer, an Ask Me Anything section. Oh, yes, because Cindy Kepps is saying exactly what you can find on the Patreon Guild course books. Ooh, yes, I have books I've been working towards, and they will be exclusive to Patreon in a build format. So as I work on things, I'm going to make them available for my Patreon members to see. I have not been doing that. I did a bunch of contract work, and I've suffered some hand issues. So pizza time. Wait. It's 9:05. It's pizza time. That's right. Thesis and Foxy are having pizza. All right. Yeah. Thank you. Take it, Lydia. Okay. When I get out of here. Down, Lydia. And yes, Lydia is well, and she's out. In fact, she wants to say something to y'all. Hi, John! I've missed you! Yes! I had a busy Halloween. There were fiends. It was a blast. Okay. Anyway. Sorry. So thank you, Lydia. She's feeling pretty good. Lydia's doing good. I'm doing good. Not Bob's still doing good. Life is not bad, folks. But this is the wind-up for one of my busy seasons, and I love it. And for those wanting my books, go to amazon.com/author/Nicholas Tucker, and I'll be happy to provide them. But do you guys want either Ask Me Anything time, where I will just sit back and respond to your amazing questions, or do you want me to open up and hit a site like Bud K and randomly give initial reviews on weapons, swords, things that I find on their page? What would you like as entertainment from me? Because in all honesty, I've spent the week sick as a dog. Oh, see, he loves you. He loves you, Lydia. Oh, I see. I think because I'm going through StreamYard, it should be approved, but I'll do y'all one better. Cindy Kemp, who is a goddess? www.deviantart.com/Nicholas Tucker. Well, shoot, Cindy, your wish is my command. Boom. I can type. You want to see deviantart.com? We can make that happen. Folks, you can find my artwork, and I am occasionally for commission at www.deviantart.com/NickT. To those of you who wonder, I have been here for, is it going to say? No, yes. Well, 92 watchers, 31,000 page views. We're barreling close to 1,000 deviations after 17 years. So I'm really excited about that. A lot of the artwork that's on now is related to the gaming sessions I've been running. 18 years. Woohoo! I've been on DA for 18 years. Oops, I just flashed my birthday. Y'all figured that out. But yeah, for folks wanting to know how long I've been doing Big Stumpy Robots, I made these to play test the game. So we got 2007 copyright. Anyway, yes, I do custom artwork and other shenanigans, and I will be happy to continue to do so for your amusement as my mouse just lost its mind. But I also try to keep my stuff, no worse than PG-13. I don't really PG-13 have whichever one of those is worse. I always get confused. But thank you. Yes, thesis you do. Trade off for what, my dear? What do you want me to trade? What are you offering? Let's get the dice on the table. Let's roll. Let's kick the tires and light the fires. That's a big affirmative, Ghost Rider. I'm coming in hot and level. Yeah, and yes, thesis you do. One thing I have that is a true privilege is that I orbit some of the most amazing creatives. I am what you call a generalist. You never know what I'm going to be doing. I might be doing sculpture. I might be writing, authoring, mechanicking, whittling, fixing, banging metal into things by the sheer force of strength in my mind. Or I could just be making a video talk about awesome stuff. But these guys each have their own niche, and I love it. So, you know what? Until I figure out what you guys want, and I'm enjoying the conversation, but give you guys leisure, let's go to our old friend Bud K. Now, Nick, why are you going to Bud K? Bud K is a website, and I am certainly not necessarily condoning them. I'm saying that they are a popular weapons provider. Now, rarely do they have training goods that I would deem appropriate, but see, I haven't lost any comment to say. Let's see what they've got on the market and how much of it hurts my soul. Do you guys want to see closeouts or swords? Let's keep it simple, because I'm not going down the knife bowl. First one to tell me, hey, that's what that's what DA is for. You neglect it and you come back. Guys, come on home. Come on home to DA. You know, think of all the stuff Facebook did to you and realize DA did it. Swords it is. Alrighty. Swords. These are all my opinions. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, shape, or form. Let's see. Oh, sword canes. Not gonna lie, this is actually on my kind of want list. The Night Watchman Heavy Duty Self-Defense Cane. I love a good sword cane, and this has certain things I like. A couple I'm dubious about because I'm guard heavy, but the idea that it's a quick draw, it doesn't look like, which means as long as you have a hold of the hook, the crook of the cane, it should work. See if I can fix this while I'm talking to you guys. I'm having a minor annoyance. Let's see if this will do it. Size. Pointers. I think that's as. Let me look. No. Doom. Apply. Oh, that's much better. I can see my cursor now. I do like a quick release cane that looks like it will actually cane when in use. It's also high enough you can fake using the sheath to cane with. The vast majority, you could. Thesis, you absolutely could make a better sword cane, probably. But this isn't homemade. This is off, and that's one of the few I actually dig. Let's see. I've heard mixed reviews about the Honshu high-end, but come on, we're not here for that. This is Bud K. We want the truly shenanigan-worthy stuff. Here we go. Here we go. Absolute minimalist shenaniganry. Now, these are light. You know what I like in a sword? cutting out metal at points where it would be really useful, and then where it should be sharp, making it serrated. That really speaks sword to me. And these are actually relatively unoffensive as swords go of the Mall Ninja. They drop the price a lot, so I like that. But I would love to see a destruction review on one of these guys. Let's see. That's what I'm looking for. We're looking for fun stuff. I actually have owned or handled these guys, and as I recall, they're only 20 inches long. 22-inch overall. See, that's not bad with 17-inch blades. So, these are fencing dagger length. They're not quality, but they're okay. I don't have a beef with them. I wouldn't buy 4 of them. But what we got? John wants axes and hawks, but I already started down this path. Collapsible spears, guys. Now, a tri-point spear's nice. A tri-point spear could be nice, but I don't trust this threading. This looks like it could be overly unconnected, and I will never trust the reviews on Bud K. The other thing is, you find something you like. Oh God, no. Old. Oh, I need a moment. I can't look at swords and say anything by Kit Ray. There are rare exceptions. My friend Shay just inherited a very old Kit Ray dagger that has a lot of sentiment and actually is not too dangerous. But I will say this, Kit Ray has been responsible for more items that I have known to be attempted to be cursed by wannabe Mall Ninja grade dark practitioners. And I've had a couple where they are so dangerous to the wielder. As somebody who spent the most of his adult life, actually my entire adult life, studying a sword, was unsure how to safely set down. Okay? These are the kind of things that have so many spikes facing the wielder that it would cause fear in Moab Deep. Kit Ray and I are, That being said, I used to have a poster in the old SCAPNC office. That was a Kit Ray poster. I have it tucked away somewhere. It's 80s, and it's Vallejo, and it's exploitive, and it's beautiful in its insanity. But let's go back and see what else is coming up randomly here. We got... Now, see, I am interested in this a bit because Gil Hibben makes the best throwing knives that are marketed. I mean, you can go and find an individual knife artisan that you might like better personally. Some people feel that way about Angel Fire knives, but if you're looking for a knife maker, Gil Hibben designs some of the best. So there's a real temptation to see that, but that's a push button release, it looks like. Can I zoom? Sorry, folks. Yeah, it's flicking around a bit on me, but that is a push button release, and push button releases are better than threaded. SSO, sword simulating objects. I do love me a good sword simulating object, but that's not here now. I've seen this come around. I'm seeing a lot of Gladius flavored thrusting swords. I instantly hate the drilled in holes. I mean, I gotta ask, guys, what do you think? You think Honshu got matching materia for this? I'm just curious. Now, I know in another Honshu blade that I actually almost purchased the trainer of, and I'm still considering, the blade itself had a bad habit of breaking at the tang, but those holes just hit the old Final Fantasy fan. And this is not offensive yet. This is humorous, but better than some. Now we go to Kit Ray. Let's talk about this. My big beef with Kit Ray is that it is always... Yeah, see, I've heard good things. Exactly. What's the purpose of the peekaboo holes? Pure aesthetics. Let me see. I'll bring that because we're still talking about that. We're still talking about that. So I'll bring this back up. Not sure I like this page orientation. I'm having a little bit of issue, so I'm going to do this. I like that better. It feels like I'm not. Nobody's cutting each other off, and you don't need to see that clearly. Exactly. I don't not like nothing wrong with a nice fuller, a nice blood groove down the line, but why the peekaboo holes? I would love for the maker to tell me any reason other than aesthetics, because that's not really going to help break the seal when you're pulling out of meat. It just bothers me. But I love that in this frame we can see what is the big difference between this and this, aside from cost and likely steel quality. Look at that. You see that? Is that showing up? Okay, that's showing up. You could put your hand on that, and I bet you could cane fairly comfortably. This is going to cut into your hand as you cane. It's going to dig in right there and become important. These are not made for people who use a cane. Now, if we scroll all the way back up here, I'm not, in love with that handle. But you could cane with it. Now, I'll be honest, I like this handle part. It's got push button release, which is a little dubious, and it's very showy for what it is. But that handle, if we bring that up for a second, let me see if I can use my zoom finger. Yay. That is a derby head cane. That is my favorite style of cane. My favorite personal cane is one of those that molds to the hand. It's a positive grip. You can cane with this. This part looks a little showy. And part of the attitude, in my opinion, of having a cane sword is that it shouldn't look like a cane sword till it's doing the job. Now, I got to comment on these because, as people know, I love my... No. I want that. Thank you. I love my Ontario survival knife. This is a very aggressive, very round knife, and I love it. It's very short blade, incredibly sharp, stay sharp. This is the kind of, if you have to carry one aggressive weapon, fine. And I do love, I've heard the Honshu Karambit's not bad. I've heard decent things. If I could find one enough quality enough, I might do a review. And Kit Ray is Swords on Acid. That's why it's fun, folks. But no, I'm just gonna do this for a second here. No. Do not pay $60 for a $10 bat wrapped in barb. Please don't. I know, cool, but please don't. I'm just going to go down the line here. Let's see what else we have. And I don't own the rights to this. I'm just talking. The Honshu, this line interests me because they're making trainers. And if you guys want me to consider ordering a trainer from their line, and I'm going to get into that, I might just do it because I'm interested to see what their trainers look like. Now, this is what I was talking about. This guy comes in a number of weapons, different steels. So you could pick D2 tool steel, whatever. If you're a steel fanatic, it has the peekaboo holes, and it has this very distinct Spartanish style sword. It's got that clip point, but the therapeutic grip here interests me. The problem is the tang right here has a straight cut. So this part goes into a blade. You can see where it screws in. It's not quite a full tang, but it's out there. But it has a straight cut, and cracks happen at 90 degrees. So when you have a protuberance, give me a second. I wonder if I can do this. I would love to be able to do this here. Actually, I should be able to do this. If my screen gets fuzzy, I apologize. I'm trying something. But while I'm doing that, I will go here. Stop screen. We're going to do that. We're going to go here, share screen, and we're going to go window. Oh, that's much nicer. And we're going to go boom, boom. So I'm going to now, brush width. And this system is entirely Brian K. Morris's fault, but we're going to look. Is it drawing or is it doing nothing? Yes, thank you. Let me undo that. Took the computer a second to warm up. And I can still see everybody's comments. Okay. I have to draw. So it's going to go, and then it comes here. And I'm sorry, my hand's a little shaky at this angle. It comes here, and then it goes like this, and comes out, and goes here. Pretty sure. Let me double check real quick. Because I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, okay. I dyslexiaed. Hold on. Gotcha. So it goes like this. Which you would think, and this is compressed. This is not to scale, but and please don't qualify my art by anything, because right now my hands are a little shaky. But the tang goes like this. What that means is all the bend pressure of flex is being opposed right here, from the top down if you bend it. And that puts all this stress right here. So zooming in, so we'll just a hard line like this, especially if you're making plastic trainers, it's going to try to break off right here. It's just a materials thing. A straight edge right there. A much, much stronger shape to do. Let me grab a color real quick. Boom. There we go. I bet that's a delicious pink, which will be hilarious, but we'll zoom in. And if it's too blinky, let me know and I will stop. But if you round it off, now there isn't this hard point of failure. One set of material isn't easy to bend as much. So that puts a lot of strain right here, and it's going to either break right there or angle off like that. It just will. So making this in something like this is going to produce a weakness in the design. Where if they had rounded it a bit, I'd even gone, left a notch maybe and made a very narrow notch, but it's a very deep gauge notch. Like where the fuller stops is where the tang basically stops on the broken one. That's problematic. And that makes me so sad because Honshu is doing the thing I love where they make trainers. And I still consider these daggers because I'm an old SCA guy. This is a sword. And I would love to get one of these with a cross guard and basically have a messer. But, now we're getting into replica swords. The 300, please don't spend $300 on a Link Master Sword. Especially, oh my gosh. Okay, this is funny. Y'all know what that is? This $300 sword is held together by a Chicago screw. What that means... Oh, that's funny. That is absolutely funny. Oh, God, that is funny. Okay, I'm going to have to bring up... Let me see if I can do this. Where's my share? Screen. Sure. Sorry, I'm still learning to navigate this, so it'll take me a second. Boom. Okay. That sword... Let me get my pen going, make life easy. Okay, so we got the back end of the sword. You guys saw that pommel. And then theoretically, it goes down. Oh, Lord. Shut up, Johnny. No, I'm going to pick a different color here. Green. And I know this is god-awful. Has a tang that runs like this. Whoa! Fine. Nope. My hand is not being compatible. That's fine. And there is a little threaded nut. Okay. I know. And it is literally that little piece is holding the entire sword together on, and there's no way to demonstrate it without it. Yeah, we're just gonna stop that screen for a moment. And we're going to go here, and we're going to go window and here. That was what you called not necessarily the most thought out life decision. It is literally held together by these nuts. Yeah, John says they are peen over, and that's how it should be. The tang should extend and then be peened, which is a drawing process. I talked about that when I was talking about rivets. I'll show it more later. But that's not what you want to find on a $300 sword. So no, I'm really not feeling that. Let's keep scrolling. And I was being merciful and letting them pick what came out. Like I said, I've heard pretty good things about that line. Rounded hilt, guys. You can get away with it on a knife. You don't want it on a sword. Replica, another one of those. I kind of like that spear. Why the peekaboo holes? We're going over why the peekaboo holes. I see no reason. They're just going to catch gunk. But M48 has been consistently sturdy. And $100 for what looks like a 5-foot spear. 65.5, so just over 5 foot. Though it threads and breaks down, and that, as John can attest, is one of the hardest things to mechanically do. So let's see what else that they want to share with us. Knobhead sword cane. First. Absolutely. Secondly. You're all awful, and I love you, but I walk with a cane. I love canes. You think that's going to hurt? Like, you're not going to grab it. That's not comfortable. This is why I went here, because I knew I would find something like this that hurt my soul. And if there's one thing folks love it, guys, I love this. I love this, and I'm going to tell you why. Hold on. We have two contenders here. We have curved sword, right? Right. It's black. That means the blade's coated with something. I can dig that. If you sharpen it, the edge is going to show. Oh, no, that's not sexy. Looks like a reasonable, possibly two-handed grip, depending on hand size. Right? 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 Subtle curve. Let's look at some elements of this. This lovely pointed pommel. That's not going to cause you any trouble in life, right? This whole region here isn't likely to snag or poke or cause you difficulty. That lip area wouldn't get obnoxious at all. This. Don't put sharp things on your weapons pointed at the wielder. Okay. You want to have a piece that happens to be pointed. Yes. Oh, no. I understand people buy this. I understand. They want to be cool. I understand edge large. But my job is to help them not hurt themselves. Now I'm going to go we're going to put this off the screen. I still have to look at it, but you don't need to suffer. And I'm going to get rid of, actually, I'm going to shrink. Patreon members, I'm going to put the oops pommel. There was no way I could draw that without it looking stupid. I've saved it as an image. It will show up on the Patreon exclusive websites. I think I can upload it there. I'll show you something. Okay, we're going here for a second. This has a point towards me. It is protected. It is away. This isn't going to hurt me. My hand can hand. Both hands, they can hand. We like that. This is a good sword. And yes, it's in its dubious sheath of dubiousness for safety because, yay. That, if you stab anything, your hand is sliding up. If you're holding it, it's don't be wearing any armor because it's going to bind. And if you're not wearing armor, you're getting your knuckles ground. Why? Just why? Kit Ray, like, who hurt you? Who hurt you so much you want to hurt the world? I want to know. I mean, I get creativity, but like, again, canes that bite literally have teeth to bite the person using it. Did that offend me so much I missed this? This actually isn't that bad. It's not great. And I wouldn't want to cane with it, but I think I could cane with the top of this far better than the other. Yeah, pinch point. Yeah. Now, sorry. So a spike that hurts a little there. That lip will catch your hand or glove. Sharp points are supposed to go in the other guy. Literally! Ahem. 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 A reading from the Simple Sword. First thing that you read that has reading in it under introduction. This is a sword. It has a pointy end and a not so pointy end. Your goal, dear student, is to put the pointy end into the other guy before he or she can do the same to you. Everything else is just finesse. I'll read from the book. Your sword is not supposed to be your enemy. This feels much more costumey. It's got a threaded hilt. So, well, sorry, let me show you what I'm showing. And hit the wrong button and have to reset. That's fine. Y'all don't mind. Y'all take this in stride, so we're good with that. Threaded hilts are great for keeping the sword together. I have several canes with it, but they don't thread. And I love all the people who pointy end goes in the other guy, who bought a sword cane from some pawn shop. He had 3 days before the blade broke off, and he stabbed himself in the leg with its head. Yikes! With the head of the cane. Yikes! And the stabbing, the head came. Ow! And yeah. So, guys, a sword cane has to cane before it can sword. And then it has to sword successfully. But a lot of people come to Bug K first. So I look through. This isn't bad. I mean, okay, at 350, it better not be bad. But it's got a nice little tactile checkered grip. It's going to have that sword-like feel, a gun-like feel. I don't know. It says Damascus steel. But overall, this is a sword that swords. I have no problem with this. It just costs the same price as my first car. So I'm a little... It better sword. This thing's going to haunt my freaking dreams. A knurled nut is much better than a Chicago screw. It was a skull. I've seen those too. I hope I don't see one tonight, but okay. Then we've got a sorted. Now this is interesting. This is interesting because it's a stabby sword, and it's very one piece. I prefer more blade, but like that, because it's going to pull apart right there. And what kind of is it? The closure on this interests me because it has these holes, and I don't like holes at retention, but that might be part of how it's drawn. This tells me they haven't used a lot of canes because you want the weight. You optimally want the center of the cane between these two fingers. You want to be able to support yourself. Although I do sometimes use that cane that way when my hand isn't happy that way. I don't like all the stock reduction at key points, but I don't know if that's tied to what holds. But that's M48, isn't it? M48. So Honshu, yes. Hanwei and I, yeah, it's Honshu. Yeah. Hanwei and I have, some of their fencing swords can be a little light. This right now is at my bedside. I own this cane. This is a very minimal. It's a pressure. There are two springy bits that hold it on. It is not terribly sharpened, and that wood pommel actually comes off. At least mine did after several years of use, and it is show sharp, not actually sharp. Exactly. And I agree with you that, yes, he's holding it backwards. But the only problem I have with this, let me see if I can find more picture. Let me see if I can find more picture. Yeah, see. Yeah, it's edge alignment is tricky with this. So, like I said, I own this one. I'm planning to do a full review of it. I just need to put a better edge on mine. But this is actually a very decent cane. It's a ball style. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite sword canes. It just works, and it's at that disposable price. I've actually considered getting one to put a fencing blade onto. And one of these days, given that this is just a hollow tube with a wood ball that just sort of in, I may someday order one to take apart for the ease of the mechanism. I'm not sure, but this is actually not bad. It's not a good sword. It's not a I'm going to fight with sword, but it's not bad. And like I said, I actually have something like this bedside for when things go bump. The foot's good. See, and that's one thing you look. This foot, let me make it bigger. That foot is made to cane. It's made to actually be one you can walk with. And yet, holding it backwards is an absolute pain. Let me see. I want to make sure I haven't lost anything. So this is good. Like they were going good, and then I don't know if you can see it. They have this like unnecessary cutout here, and then more unnecessary cutout. It's like they started with a decent little bare minimum sword and then just cut a bunch of stuff out for no apparent reason. The only thing I could like, theoretically, is this jimping or knurling at the back, which could have been used for tighter knife work so that you could use the control, but then they ruined it with all that. So, ugh, soul hurting. Not worth $13. Let's look at this guy. This canes pretty well. I don't know what this material is, and that makes me nervous. But as a cane, it wouldn't be too bad, actually. Well, now see, because then getting the grip comfortable could be problematic with this discard. It's been a long time since I've talked to that sword, and it better behave the next time I see it, or else it's getting a salt bath. But let's see what other shenanigans. Okay, fantasy sword cane, decent knob top. What does it look like from the side? Oh, I don't like. I saw something there. Hold on. You see how it's got that hole, that extra wiggle room where this cup of metal was put on? That could be problematic. That's the push button for the release. That makes me nervous. I also know that really cruddy steel often is hid behind a Damascus, so I'm dubious. That's when this is a classic kit, Ray. This is funny. This is funny because this poster was donated to me many years ago and hung in my study with a block over the lady, which I don't want to get in trouble for sharing something too inappropriate. But we had that, and this. There we go. Yeah, spikes toward the wielder. Do not do that, folks. Got like the Honshu line just makes sense. That's a little minimalist for caning, but that's not bad. That's a this bothers me. You ever see something where you have to stop? Oh, yeah. He says, I've known things. John makes his weapons be testy. He likes to do that. It's not good. And it's not good at what it should be, largely because I hate these cutouts. But I also kind of like the spirit of the thing. Like, it's stupid, but I almost like it. I'd say too expensive, but not, like, I'd shop around. I want to see that, the connection. How bad is that connection? Do they? I want to hate this more than I do. And have a feeling I would. Who's this by? Who's this? What brand? Oh, it doesn't say. This is a no-name brand. Then, oh. Sorry, I got distracted. Hold on. No. I like that. I actually kind of like that. That has the feeling of my old FE9. 169 is too much. I'd rather have to look into who the actual maker is. But I actually kind of like that. That has potential. The sheath looks like garbage leather, but it probably is. But okay, that's cool. Sorry, I got distracted. I was looking at things that hurt my soul, and then I saw something again. I think Kit Ray had a Geiger fixation because that wants to bite you, and I could not see why. Why would I carry a cane that wants to bite me? A katana don't count. They're usually moderately junk, but not really impressed. What do we have here? Why is there a hole? Why did they put a hole in it? There was no. Why is there a hole in that? No. I like boar spears, obviously, but why did they put a hole in it? Well, you know what? That could water drain. Like, okay, this hole is for pinning it to the spear. I get that. Oh, yeah, that sword and I have a history. And I was invited, but was still on. You know, Johnny, there as if there weren't enough sentient weapons around that campaign. Blood groove? You think so, John? You think that's a blood groove? But that's a shaft, isn't it? I mean, named and claim them. I don't name my weapons. Well, let me amend that. I have one that actually has a name, come to think of it. More of a title, and I don't carry it anymore because of situation and spiritual change. But I mean, I'm not afraid to. But no, now I carry this one all the time. But other than that, yeah, I don't claim. I claim it's mine, but even that, a lot of things that come to me are only mine till I find the person they're meant for. This is interesting. I would like to play with this and see how it feels. Because I'm 99% sure it's junk, but it does have that Orcish Warglaive feel. Okay. Let's see. Look at the taper at the top of the shaft. Yeah, I see what you're saying. It makes sense, John. Name your sword. Yeah. I've considered a sword named Kindness and a match set of daggers named Thoughts and Prayers, but my sword isn't named, but knows. Yeah, there's one. Once the thesis once named Fluffy Bunny in Skyrim. Oh, that's beautiful. I don't. Again, I'm sure this isn't terribly well crafted just by the way it's connected, so I'm not sure I would trust it for anything, but I do like where they're trying to go with it at least. And it's like I won't review Katana this way because looking at them, this is a hilarious pile of Team Blue and Team Red junk. Uh, the Karambit's okay. I'd have to play with the steel, and the Straight Boys are kind of harmless, but the rest of it, John says, I have ritual for forging and quenching, but never named the blade due to practice. Understood that. No, and Fluffy Bunny, I've seen that mentioned. I like that. Call Blade Sheldon. I'm a mechanic doesn't usually name his tools. You know what I mean? I have one that earned a title, but that was because it was my Scheme Do, which is a little black knife. This is the successor, but it's a. I haven't looked up Gaelic for glow, so it had to be like a Scheme Glow because it glows in the dark. But yeah, I these guys amuse me. I'd love to see how sturdy the coating is because I've seen these guys and they're almost not sufferable for the crap wrap around a tang. Another sword cane. Okay. Now this interests me a bit because it has the same hilt as the one that I've seen with failure, but it doesn't have the hard right angle as pronounced. So that probably is more effective. I bet my buddy Steven liked that. 25, that's a good length. That's a good sword length for me. Yes, I am that short. I accept it. It's 25 overall, so that means what? 19 and 3/8 blade. I don't know why the peekaboo holes. Well, yeah, and your Warhammer had a shtick and other history. This is another one I have seen and looked at, and I find myself pondering. Oops. Yeah. Nice knife length. Yes, John. For you, nice knife length. For me, nice sword length. Your swords are my pole arms. It's okay. Nothing wrong with that. This interests me. This is one of those I would love to pick up and feel because it hits that sub $100. This feels like a great hallway defender. Oh, Cindy Kemp is a goddess. That might actually show up in a book I'm writing, Cindy. I love that. Thank you so much, Cindy. See, she says glow is Scottish Gaelic. Dare said. And I know it's nowhere near it, but I dig it. Now, what's this? I don't know why, but I hate paracord handles. It feels wrong. Don't mind Tsukima. Come on. Yes, I understand that. Awesome to both, and I can see that. Paracord is a very hit or miss, but one thing is this looks molded. Is that paracord? What is that? It's not paracord. No, it's wrapped. This is this is a very strange and interesting thing, and I'd kind of like to like I said, okay, it's just grip tape. Aw, that's almost not bad. I don't know how good the thing is, but that has that pole arm you can use in the hallway length. And I really do like indoor pole arms. Somebody looked at the Kit Ray sword and went, I'll see your bite and raise you when you slide back on it, it cuts open like a can opener. Like the bottom almost. It's like if this wasn't here, I could dig it. And see, most people don't even bother sealing the paracord. Now, see, I like to do paracord over a grip and then wrap it with either grip tape or athletic tape. So tightly do the wrapping and then an overwrap, and we get along well. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da. Now, see, this is more where I actually look. because this is the trainer, and their polypropylene trainers really interest me. I've seen pretty good reviews. This is very stout. I think they're the ones that Cold Steel is leaning to, and they're not going to reference other trainers. So I may go to the Cold Steel trainers. We're actually past paracord. Yep. Now see, cheap sword. John, two blades are just no. Yeah, I get you. No. Okay. Fun game, not a neat universe. No, that was pure geekdom. I actually have the Halloween costume version of one of those, along with a needler and a plasma pistol on my wall. Paracord is good for toys. Yes. Well, that's my 10 o'clock alarm. But you guys, we having fun. I'm going to keep going for a little bit if you don't mind. My family doesn't feel good, so they can rest. This is not quality. This, I'd lay money, says Pakistan or China somewhere. But danged if this doesn't take me back to my favorite retailer of all time, a gentleman by the name of Benny. Yazuf bin Ali's Bazaar of the Bazaar. And I've handled these, and they're kind of cool. They remind me of my Talwar. They're a little less heavy. This is not a quality sword, but it's okay. And this is actually the maker and style of swords I find myself missing because you can't find them anymore. The old brass and wood handled, really that spirit. Full-size Nagamaki. 6 foot tall. Things I kind of want that I have no justification for. Moving on. No. No. That is somebody drawing. Well, yeah, John's real one is high. Okay. We're talking about Adrian, and Adrian is a literal world-class swordsman. Sir Sabah, I'm sure he's been knighted by now, is one of the few knights in the SCA I will both name and respect. That I am comfortable saying is a wonderful guy. Sabah is just a great guy. I had the pleasure of working with him at different points, and he almost lured me over to heavy fighting. Cheap sword, much more accurate as a scimitar. Yes. This is much. The hilt's too long. If you cut the hilt in half length, be much closer to what Driz Doerden should be wielding. Drist. Biting that T off is not comfortable. Let's see. This is a mark of the Yellow King. This is not. Well, yeah, he had he had a lot of health issues, and that's tragic. I think he's still training people, and that's part of the response. Guys, we're gonna take a second. Let's just set on back to yours truly. There are obligations to be a good student. That's listening to your John. I'm gonna just and Ogre. I hear you, and yes, that thing. This thing right here, definitely ludicrous French. Great scene here, Ogre. Great. Ogre's just an amazing person. But there is an obligation as someone who has learned and gained benefit from the art. It's one I try to live up to every day. That's to pass it on. And when you physically can't, you still train and impart. And everything I've heard is that it's about teaching. It's about giving back to the system. That's a huge part of what I do. Saying fencing and sword fighting kept me alive is not an understatement, nor is I saying that it was and is a vital tool in the preservation of my immortal soul. Everything grand in my life has ties to me my sword play. everything noble and grand that I have done has ties to that. I met my wife through sword fighting. I have pictures of my son as a baby at an event called Day of the Dragon. Many, if not all, almost all my friends have ties to that. The way I approach gaming is overlapped with that. My first tactics game that I put together was involved with this. It's all arcing. Yeah. Ogre says health issues are the bane of modern knights. Infections and bleeding out are too old-fashioned. Yeah, and we're lucky that they get to live that long, Ogre. I'm scrolling ahead to see if there's anything that jumps out at me. This interests me. Let me see if I can bring this guy up. This interests me. What's funny is that's probably a 20-inch blade. Ooh, it is a 30. That's a 30-inch blade, right? 30 here. So they actually did it right. Double fuller. Looks like a Sinca. Oh, God. Anyway. Allegedly one-handed. But with me, that is a bastard sword. My scale, that's not bad. Wide blade, it's a broadsword. 40 inches overall. That's nice. But that to me is almost scaled to be because that's going to be 3/4. So that would be my grip to about that line, and then 3/4 of a grip. So I'd call that a hand and a half in my arms, and I find that fascinating. I need to find a good sword booth. My boy Gil Hibben. Custom hook sword. Let's look at this for a second. I want to look at this because we were talking. Let me see if there's a good. Yes. That's going to be comfortable to grip. You're going to be able to curl your finger here, your back 3 here. That smooth might be a little bit of a problem, but that's going to be ergonomic. That bump might be a little pronounced, but it's 1,000 times better than everything else I've seen. So that makes me happy. But I expect that from Gil. He makes the best throwing knives. He understands ergonomics. Okay, we've got... I don't know why the elves have forsaken handguards, but that's okay. Yep, 30-inch blade, 40 overall is a place I really like to live. No. But that is literally set up to be a wall hanger. I can tell by the steel it's not even... I don't even see an edge on it. That's a gift wall hanger. There's nothing wrong with wall hangers. I have a wall hanger on the other side of the room. Okay, let's go the opposite. Yeah, you could skull around and hold that fine, but how are you going to knife that? That's like grabbing something like this and be like, I will stab you. You're trying to stab somebody while holding on to a tennis ball or a cue ball. That's not going to add edge alignment. That's danger to itself and its user. At least it can cane. Not gonna lie, that's kind of pretty. I'm sure it's junk steel, but I do find that aesthetically pleasing. Clean lines, no unnecessary burring, little clip point. I could make that go. But yeah, hook work system. Yeah, clownfish dagger. I had a custom tank that I painted as a clownfish. I could skull stab with. Yeah, well, John, you could too, because it would be much smaller. But yeah, let's go down the line. Here's another, and they're allegedly Nagamaki. I have a love affair, but a little bit of slide the edge up. I think I like the other one a bit better, but I'd really like to handle this line. I'd just like to go to a gun show or a sword show or something where they're selling these just to get my paws on it. Now, see, this is just funny awesome. Like, this knife, which I think might actually be more of a spike. Let me get to the pokey bits. Is that a saw? Hold on. Oh no, it's just got a little. This is interesting. What are you doing, M48? What? Stop. Stop. Yes. Okay. You know what? This almost feels like it's trying to be a survival tool. Like it's got a door breaker. Yeah, I don't like the skullhead dagger. But that's interesting. Like it's almost a place. These are the guys who make very similar products to these guys. M48. Where is that? No, that's my SOG axe. Where is that? I have so many sharp things. Well, it's around here somewhere. I am surrounded by weapons. Oh, yeah. To answer John's question from last week, Warhammer. See, there's hers. I was joining the group before the group became a group, so I never really got a Warhammer. Oh, bless you. You know, how cool would it be to see a whole bunch of elves just come out with frickin' small swords? Or spadroons or something. Like light rapier, small swords, transition area weapons. And just like mow through being fast fencers. I'd love to see that. That thing was an interesting choice. I could see them taking something like this and rigging it to be a actual survival kit that could be kind of cool, but I think it's more effective as a hammer. Again, this is we're going to take a decent sword design, and I kind of like, and do something hideous to it. Unnecessary holes. Serration that won't do anything. A couple throwy dagger that will probably break. This is all interesting stuff. I am fascinated by this groove in the pommel. Like, I'm not sure what's going on here. And I'm fascinated by it. Let's see. Yeah, this picture. I want to see, like, I need a little better angle. Any of you Homestar fans? Hold on. Yeah, elves with side swords make sense. But wait. Am I the only one who's seeing Homestar? Or Homsar? Thoughts off. I'm the cat's meow. Like, what? Sydney's got it right. You want to break your fifth finger? Okay, like, and it's one of those swords that's so close to being just like, it would be a great generic good guy sword. I could almost dig this thing. Again, that roughly 2 foot long, 31 and a quarter long, overall. A little weighty, but I also don't see any distal taper. I don't see any lines indicating type pat. Yep, see, should have listened. Bottle opener. No, you know what? Hold on. That makes it much more useful than most things for Ren Fair. I can see that being. That might actually have quality. That might be forgiven. If that's a bottle opener, that thing's forgiven. I find it hilarious. Let's look at this guy. Yep. I don't hate it. I'd have to feel it because that's a little funny of an angle for that front finger, but it's not terrible. That could cane. Maybe. But like that top isn't going to work, and that bite bothers me because that's a lot of extension. It's problematic, but not as bad as some I've seen. Let's keep moving on. But this is why I love going through like Bud K and different. Now see, holes. That's sealed. That's the pin down. Holes. No. No. Dang it, Bud K. Somebody take Bud K's drill press away. It would cane, but not knife, yeah. I actually have considered buying this. This is on the list of weapons I have nearly bought myself, both to review, because that grip looks narrow enough to become... Yeah, you know what? I might do something like that artistically. I like that. But what I'd like to do with something like this is use it as a base and put a cross guard and try to convert it into like a Vampire Hunter D sword. With the right cross guard, this would make a great cosplay for Vampire D. Yes, it's too short. Yes, the curve isn't severe enough. But I kind of dig it. Okay, that looks like it's trying to launch a video, so we can get rid of that. Oh, really? This guy? Yeah. I dig it. And this may be something I genuinely order if I get a really good discount from Bud K. Or I could find it cheaper elsewhere. I'm saving up to get a couple key things with the guild funds, which is why I haven't done any ordering, but I may have to. No. I'm not commenting on that. I'm just... Now that's interesting. Yep, Kurgan sword. It just... Kurgan sword. Not the worst. It may... Yeah, with a longer crossguard, it will make a decent mouser. I almost like that. I have... See, that's an interesting grip style I'd have to feel. So that's one of those that's hand versus... Katanas don't count. That's just a black version of something we've already looked at. Okay, this makes me happy. I don't think it's sturdy because I bet they used cruddy wood. But it has a spear and a butt spike, and that just makes me happy. Butt spikes, guys, you know. Hashtag. Let me see if I can get this to come up. There we go. Hashtag Team Butt Spike. If you love your polearm, put a butt spike on it. But I don't think that's going to be quality enough wood, and the steel still... There's shenanigans there. Okay, let's do this. I have seen versions of this. It isn't terrible. The price is... Honestly, if you're going to go steel, done wrong, but they tried. Yeah, done wrong, but they tried. This is interesting. I bet there's a rattle. Because, yeah. Okay. When I was a little kid, they had this game where you would look at the spelling words and they would block out. Got me very... This is Pakistani, so this is absolute crud. The gap near the pommel? Yeah, I prefer in connected pommels. 6-finger to get the balance right. I get you there too. But my preference in fencing swords, you're not going to find on Bud K. That's not terrible grip. I see a dirt moment. Okay. Ignoring the now trademark peekaboo holes. I'm going to hear Cindy Kep's voice saying peekaboo holes. Huh. Like, if they had turned this into a clip point, like a proper clip point, this would be gorgeous. Like, if it didn't have this icebreaker ship prow and was a clip point to just above that filler, like, wheep. I'd be in love. So it hurts because it's so close and it misses. See, what else do we have going on? We actually saw the Rosewood version of that. I think I like the Rosewood better, but it's not bad. Is it Legends in Steel and Brass? That might be what. That's not terrible. The guard's a little minimalistic. The grip's a little thick, but that's not terrible. Ironically, like, are there rattle rings? That's an interesting question. Besides the holes in the hand, yeah, you know what? You're right. I know what you're saying with it. And here it is in black. I'm not that way. I don't have to scroll back up. It does Chinese war sword, and it is that. I just don't necessarily like that, if that makes sense. Are there rattle rings? No. You see this? Just no. It's a triple point with a. It is one way to say screw you, but no. No, please, friends, no. I can't do that. I can't tolerate that. Let's see. Oh, wait. I see. I like that. The blade shape was correct. Wait, you want me to go back? Here, yeah. Like, you want me to go back to the spear? Here. Yeah. Yeah. Like, this is a case of I like the handle. I think that's a solid one-piece handle. But then they put literally all the sins of what can be wrong with a knife are pretty much on this blade. It's nice and thick, so it's beefy, but there are all these bizarre holes that I assume they're either a combination of the weight or the twist process. Like it's mechanically forged, although I doubt that. It's possible. The edge isn't, it just, no. Yeah, it would corkscrew in your hands. Oh, yeah. Well, and that's the thing. An 18-inch blade on some of us little people is a sword, and it's not. I kind of, old school purist, I've seen this before many times. That ain't bad. Yeah, it looks like they had a filler when they twist. It had a filler. Yeah, well, it's 3. So it would be like a triangle, the 3 prayers, and then they twisted it. And I think it almost makes it worse. I don't like it. Yeah. This I like. It's simple. I will admit, I kind of like the steak knife rivets look on a katana set, although this is barely curved, and the subas look like crap. But I kind of like the riveted look. But yeah, the nice basic claymore. You're gonna find I like nice. Let's end the night on ugly. Okay. Let's talk. Yep, from Benny. I miss Benny. Oh, I miss Benny. If I had money, I'd buy swords from Benny right now. Not that I need them, just because of. But let's. Guys. Yes. Kit. Can I call you Kit wherever you are? Kit Ray. Kit. Yes. You were so close. Like, you were close. Like, seriously, okay. I'm not a big fan of this, but I could see this as a shield catch. I could make this work, theoretically. The length's not bad. Let me see. It's next show. Stop it up. Okay. The butt spike genuinely makes me happy. But then it has the tumor dagger. Like, I'm a tumor. No! And it's, look! It's, it's screwed on. It's like both the thing. Like, okay, he was this close to making a weapon that wasn't dangerous to itself, right? This close. Oh, it's pain. Because he was so close. Oh yeah, okay. We'll go down. One. Bless you, Foxy. And yes, I will do a back scratcher video. I always forget to do it. Made to break. I handled these. The rattle is so scary. I was afraid to put it down for breaking it, but yep. Okay. My grab something. Okay. I got a curved chunk of poly. It took a curve. No worries. Okay. When you're working a spear, I need full screen. Hi. Let's say the blade keeps going here. You're going to pull back to short shank. You're going to push. You're going to pull back, push, pull back, push, pull back. Boom, boom, boom. Make it with the stab. Think like a pool cue. That could have worked. I mean, a little bit of stop. I mean, I am a huge lover, thanks to John, of a... But then it has this. Like, they advertise it. They're like, look at this. It's got a derp spur. It's got a... Yeah. I had a cat. His name was Milo. And I loved this cat. Even though I was allergic, I had to give him actually to John. Or no, we went to Lido. Yeah, I went to Lido. But he had to be declawed for his own safety. He was literally a mentally handicapped cat. And he would catch his dew claw and end up hanging off of curtains and like, and I love that. Yes. It is a dew claw. It is something that should have evolved away. And I can't. Look at the Allen key screws holding it on. I can't, people. I can't. No one should. Friends don't let friends buy crud swords. What that is, John, that is the hook to stab yourself in the webbing. That's what it is. It is to go right here and rend right here and rend the wielder. This has got to be a cursed spear. Like, Kit Ray, is this spear meant to be cursed? Like, really? What are you doing with the... Wait a second. While we're here, what is that? No, Kit Ray. Please, no. No, Kit Ray. I don't want to end on that. Okay, decent gladius, sword rack. I'm not sure about what makes it a native spear. I feel a bit of appropriation possibly going... Stop weakening your blades at the points they need to be strongest. Why? I wish to swear, but I try not to on my... Oh, it becomes native because it has beads of... Get out of here. You know what? Forget about it. You don't... Get off my screen. Not even playing that, homie. Yeah. Okay, look at this. No frills. I mean, I like a little bit more point, but peened. That's peened. Not sexy peened, but that's a peened pommel. Reinforced tip sheath. Cross guard that would block things. Softish, looks like a suede over. So if it's tight, if that's stitched on tight, it might not be too bad, but it looks like it's loose. That's going to come loose. So like, yeah, that's a crap blade, but this is a wall hanger. This is more wall hangery. But I don't hate it. Like, that doesn't wound my soul. Yeah. Like, I needed that. Okay, let's keep going. I'll go a little while farther. Okay, Legends in Steel. Okay, this might be my favorite Bud K exclusive because this probably threaded. That's probably junk leather, so I'd probably cut that off. Well, it's based on the show prop, and the fighting in The Witcher is done well enough from what I've seen. I haven't watched the show, but I've watched a lot of breakdowns of the fights. And the guy who was Grumpy Superman, whose name I've lost, Henry Cavill. Yeah, he's God, what's his name? He's Neil Cafferty with more testosterone. I actually kind of dig him. He's cool. He's one of us. He's a geek, so it makes sense that his swords work. This isn't bad. $50. Like, this is not bad to be worn on the hip. It's not a work sword, but I don't mind that. Okay, you know what? I'm going to say something, and I hope it doesn't get misconstrued. Don't fly flags that aren't yours. I am not a Mason. I have no ties to the Masonry that I know of, other than a couple people who are in that. Grumpy Superman. Yes, Grumpy Superman. I couldn't remember his name. I'm not a fan of a Witcher fan, but the show proves. Yeah, the games came out in an era where it was, again, really broke. So, like, my gaming budget is very, very small, so I only play specific things. And I could talk about my gaming sometime, but I don't do solo. If you're not a Mason, don't fly Mason flags. This is one of my hangups. Stolen valor of all sorts annoys me. Speaking of, if you aren't a Marine, don't carry swords that look like they belong on a Marine. And this one pains me because some of the like, this looks like a sword that could sword. And some of the representations and others look like they could work, and I kind of dig it. I'm not a Marine, so I will never willingly own a Marine simulation sword. And it's not that I have a problem with them. It's that I don't, because I am not that, I don't know. Oh, that's just pretty. That's just pretty. That looks like a lower cost knockoff Glamoring. And I kind of dig it. I'd love to see a shot of the pommel, but it's not going to tell you this is probably worth half its price. But that's okay. I can work with that. No. What else we got? I don't have any issue with the Freemasons. I don't have any issue with most secret societies or not so secret societies. I treat them kind of like I treat religions and deities that aren't my own. They're not my own, so I don't have any fealty, but I'm not going to go out of my way to cheese them either. Does that make sense? It's like passing respect. No. To this, just no. I don't like flail weapons, and a flail is a flail weapon by definition, and you'll be fighting this as much as it's fighting. No. Plus, at $24, I don't know if I trust it. That made me laugh. So, like, literally going through the effort of That made me laugh. Almost saves it. I don't know why. That made me laugh. I've handled these. They're not as terrible as they could be till the riggings come loose. But that's, it's a $30, $40 sword at the century level. You also got to give poor people stuff. This is interesting. Yeah, I'd brain myself and everybody. And same stick. See, I'm really tempted at looking how much the M48 replacement stick part is. The spear. I might get one of these and then put a HDPE blade on it. That's kind of cool. You know what? I'm gonna go back. And I'm going to check. Let's see. Shop. Search the store. I want to look to see something. M48. 48. M48. How do we put that? Spear. That would be what I would call it. I know they. Okay. Okay. And see, that splits in half. It splits in half. But it's supposedly for use, and that's a big coupler. I wonder if they sell replacement shafts. I'm going to have to look them up directly and see if I see that. Leave a note. Because I think it might be cool to get one of those and make a trainer out of it. M48. Spear. Shaft. I pity the person who comes by and sees my notes. Like, a detective would have problems with all this. I love Drawfee. It's a YouTube channel. And they draw, and that's double dirt blades. No, get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Let's see. Tactical Molly attachment for swords. I can't say anything bad about that. This I've nearly bought too. But the problem is it's only 2 feet long. So that's actually pretty dagger-y. So I'm not sure. Hashtag Team Stick. Twice as lame. This is on the market, but see, I've considered this and I've considered the long one, and they're the same price. So I'm watching to see what they make, to see if they make anything else. It's tempting. It's going to slide because it's all brass, but I like the hand protection. It is trying to be historical without being too nailed down. So I actually kind of like this. I don't quite feel that would be a Stolen Valor vibe. I wasn't a Crusader. I'm not a Knights Templar, so I won't carry that. Let's see. What else do we have? Do we have anything else that's really jumping out? Oh, okay. I will do this one to end because look. I'm just waiting for Cindy on this one, guys. Does this enjoy? Does this enjoy? I almost enjoy this. I don't think it would be comfortable to walk with because, again, your leverage is all off. But it's mildly adorable. I think they were going for like a bird of prey vulture with the but it ends up looking like a militant flamingo. And folks, I'm kind of here for that. I'm kind of here for militant flamingo if it was just a pelican. You could if you like hold on. Boyd. Exactly. Hard to hold, but it's a Boyd. Like that looks like it would be Mary Poppins' talking sword. If it was just a pelican. Yeah. See, that'd be great if it had a little pouch For the stewards. Yes! Delightful. Delightful. I love pelicans. Pelicans are usually cool people. Both the people with the title and the thing. There are exceptions. No. 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 I could almost like that, but I can tell you that they have the width wrong, the grip wrong. It would slide a bit and still be uncomfortable, which hurts because, again, Stolen Valor won't wear. I own this. John gave me this. John Miner, right here, gave me this. Mine has a piece chipped out where it fell and broke, but I do love this thing. It's a very nice, this is actually a very nice length. It's a very nice sword. It was one of my favorites. It's just the way it chipped, I can't hold it without risk of cut. No sickles. Well, guys, I'm 40 minutes late. What? Oh, that's a thing, ain't it? Ain't it? That's a thing. That's it. Like, that's a lot, but it's a thing. I kind of. That would machete. Yeah. Exactly. And exactly. Huh. That's. No, it's not Naginata. I mean, that's a thing. I like the smooth here and grip here. I mean, this interests me because there was some thinking here. This is meant to have a sliding axe swing. It's even got to stop. Bam. Bam. Partial. That's interesting. I also have a glow wooled feel, and I'm not sure I'm not here for that. This is like, I wouldn't want this because it's not quite me, but I know some people who would. I could be there for that. Ha! 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 This is old school Bud K. Ah! Why the holes? Always why the holes. Always why the holes. But let me see. I'm gonna go back to that. Were there holes? Oh, this one? Actually, I know what that hole's for. That is that hole, and that hole are for either lanyards or hanging. I don't hate that thing. I should, but I just don't. But that's hilarious. That's just delightfully. I don't like. There's so much going on with this. Yeah, Cindy. This is an enigma wrapped in a riddle, wrapped in a what the. It looks. Yeah, it just. There's so much going on here. I want to see what the other picture looks like. Oh, they added glow. This is somebody's ultra favorite sword ever. Like, there's some dude out there who's probably a little too young to own swords or just old enough by most legal standards, who that is the coolest thing they've ever seen, ever. Yeah, like, that is, somebody left Sting outside of the vault for Fallout, and then it got ejected to Pandora, and they found it in a Borderlands game, I think. I don't know. I'm like, what? This sword was started out a fairly nice Sting duplicate, and it was left out for the Fallout, and then it fell into the ocean and sunk down into BioShock. This is a goth sword that discovered brown. Okay, that's fun. No. I'll just grind some bar stock from the hardware store. Just no. Just no. Keep. No. Again, Masonic, not a Mason. I mean, if it was given to me by a Mason, maybe. That's about as Celt. Don't say that, because I think everybody's got a little of the Genghis in them at this point. Robin Hood. And it's a letter opener, 7 inches. That's mildly adorable. That's like something you get shrunk and you wheel. No. See, okay, Kit Ray, Bud K is stomping on your terrain. I hate this. I'm moving on. We're gonna pause here, and we're gonna end on a safety issue. Do you see this? Do you see this? You see this? That. Guys, I'm gonna go. We're done with that for a moment. We're going here, guys. I got it. That actually. Well, I laughed so hard I lost my glasses. I have no idea where my glasses are right now. Oh, there they are, guys. You do not, guys. Safety. God, I sound like my dad. Boys, guys. Double knife hands. Do not. That's awesome, Ogre. Yes. Do not have knives that look like guns. Stacey, this is so stupid. I got a Virus Defender update. Do not have knives that look like guns. I almost went Super Saiyan right here. Like, do not have knives that look like guns. Because if you have knives that look like guns, the nice police officer over there is going to be threatened by what you have over here. And then you will say, no, it is not. And then the nice police officer will go freeze, and then da-da-da-da-da. And then there's death and blood, and it is your fault. Do not have those look like guns. This is like here. If it looks like a gun, expect to get shot. Yes. It's just, no. I carry one knife usually. It is right here. Why is it right here? Because I could say, I have a knife. It is around my neck, officer. Feel free to remove it. And I can just like this. No harm, no foul. I can't reach in my pockets. And I do this so that they understand my hands don't work. Please take it so that there is no issue. It's a $30 knife. My wife gave it to me. I love it. It carries the little thing that says I'm diabetic. Right? There's a screenshot. Do not. But. No. And John says, why you always bring a knife to a gunfight? If you carry a knife, it looks like a knife. Make sure it looks like a knife. No. This is not a concealed weapon. This is glow-in-the-dark present, and I can keep my hands really far away from it. I can go, officer, I have a neck knife. Please take it. Just take it. I want you to be comfortable. I always want the guy with the gun to be comfortable in the conversation. Nick, why don't you pack? My hands aren't reliable. I respect the right to pack, but I don't. If my hands were to become reliable, I would get a firearm, I would train with said firearm, and I would carry it when it was appropriate to do so. And that's my right to decide or not to. That's how rights work. You get to decide whether you use them or not other people. That's how rights are supposed to work. Right? Free speech. I could say, I'm not going to say something that might offend because I choose to. That's much different than somebody going, you won't say that. That's how rights work. I can invite people to sleep in my house, but they can't just, we're kicking in and sleeping in your house and eating your food. Rights. But folks, I'm going to put that down. I'm going to go full screen and be comfortable for a minute. We're at nearly 3 hours. I hope do you guys like seeing me peruse sites? Because I think it might be fun to do this through a fencing retailer. So next week, I think I might just go through one of my favorite fencing gear retailers, being Zen Warrior Armory, and we'll talk about those. They've recently renamed all their weapons. It used to be an R number system, and now it's not. So it will be interesting to see. I'd like to comment. Other than that, what happened, sir? Yeah, I was cleaning my knife and it went off. Yeah, look. I've cut myself, but it's not like I cut somebody across the room. Well, I suppose you could if you were a complete moron. But if you guys like this, me being able to do that, it's fine. If there are people who want to be guests and have something meaningful to say other than, I don't want to say other than self-aggrandizement, but you want to bring the conversation out, please. Oh, did it spill liquid on my computer? Anyway, put the cat back. Blood Circle. The Boy Scouts. Blood Circle. I love that. Your inner circle with a knife, which is the first circle I'd use in melee discussion. It's the Blood Circle. It's so metal. Why? It's the Blood Circle. Here. I have a trainer knife that says Blood Circle. Okay, Blood Circle, yeah. Okay, guys, we're nearly 3 hours out. I want to put a huge shout out, of course, to Cindy Kep, because every week in just about everything I interact with, she's there. John Miner. John, you are one of my oldest friends, and we go way back, and it's always good. Silver Ogre, Patreon member, just good human being. Foxy and Thesis, you two are pillars my community is built on. We had the amazing Frog G. We had Johnny Cage. This has been a great discussion night, and I'm not sponsored by Bud K. I have a mild affiliate link with PHA, but I'm only doing this because I want you guys to have access to the best stuff. And I hope it's question in ER after a patient was taken. It was we just call it arm's length. I'll guest one day, but we'd have to discuss this time because I work every other Friday. That's okay. Ogre says, thanks for going long for me. I tend to run late. And you know what? I'll be honest. I was on my way out. But my purpose here is to serve my viewers. And as much as I love the viewers who catch up later, and please catch up when you see it. Don't ever feel bad. But there's nothing like the interaction I have in the comments where we can educate and entertain and really feed each other. So I want to say thank you. Guys, if you stuck around the 3 hours that this broadcast pretty much has run, just under, thank you. Everything I do is funded by the Simple Sword and the Fighting Axe, along with the Big Stompy Robots books. I may have something new in both those fields coming out in the fairly near future. I'm made possible by my incredible Patreon people at patreon.com/the fencing guild. I don't think YouTube will give me flack for pinging my own site, but be sure to join up. Thank you. I'll have more stuff. And to the guild, I have been incredibly ill for the last 5 or more days, so I've been a little slow on the uptake. Thank you for your time and patience. As always, I'm trying to keep more content coming, and I've got some new ideas. I just have to get over the ramifications of me being down this long. So thank you. You guys have a good night. Keep your guard up. Be kind to yourself and each other. And as always, friends, support your local sword